Hello, Catamounts. My name is Alexander Hoffman, and this is Chats with Cats presented by WeTV. In this series, we've been interviewing some of our amazing student athletes here at Western Carolina University. Today's guest is Ava Giglio of our softball team. How are you, Ava?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we'll go ahead and jump right into this. Go ahead and please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do on the softball team.
So my name's Ava Giglio. I'm a freshman here on the softball team. I'm from Irvine, California, and I'm a third baseman and utility player.
All the way from California.
Yep, it was a far travel, but I love it here, so.
It's good. I bet it's a bit of a change.
I live in a beach city at home, so coming to the mountains was definitely really different, but it's fun, so.
That's good. If you don't mind, could you share a memorable moment from so far your athletics career at Western?
I'd say the most memorable moment was probably when we went whitewater rafting. That was like our first team bonding event this year. And I didn't really get to play that much during fall due to injuries and stuff. So just being with the girls, like doing something I don't typically get to do at home too, was super fun for me.
Yeah, I remember last spring whenever we had a couple of our former freshman players on, that was their same answer from whenever they had come in. So I'm glad that continues.
Yeah, it was super fun. That was probably my favorite so far. So
yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot more once the season kicks.
For sure.
Or starts.
For sure.
But how do you stay motivated during both the busy stretches of softball in the spring and the not so busy in the fall?
I'd probably say like my love for the game and also just like the people on the team. The girls on the team were my best friends and my sisters, and just being able to play for them every single day makes me super happy. And obviously I can't imagine a day I'm not playing softball. So just the love for the game keeps me going too.
Yeah, and I think you touched on something that's very common in all of our athletics, and I've noticed it a lot, especially in softball, is how close everybody is. And I kind of wanted to hear how you see that like family feel within the teams, especially with that being so close in softball.
Yeah, I mean, on this team, I've been the closest to anyone ever. Like the first day I got to Western, I was with the girls and they just took me in with open arms and made sure that I knew that I had a support system there for me, and whether we're with them on the field or off the field, they're always there for you and they're always looking out for you if you need anything at all. So I think that's super special with softball, especially because I've never seen a team bond this fast, and it's been a lot easier to go within the college experience too, as a freshman especially. So I think that's just super special about our team, and it definitely translates on the field as well because we're super comfortable with each other. And we look like we've been playing with each other for a long time.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's super important, is being able to get that chemistry within the team, because especially with the season not having started, knowing you're already that comfortable with each other and the actual games haven't started, it's good to kind of have a foreshadowing of how the season is.
Yeah, and especially too because like we went through a lot this fall with the hurricane, and this winter too, coming back, we weren't able to get on our field for 2 weeks because it was frozen or it was wet. So just like knowing that we're that comfortable with each other already makes us feel a lot better going into season.
That's good. We are going to kind of switch gears though. These interviews are a lot more than just you as a student athlete. It's also you as a student and a person. So what are you studying and what made you choose that major?
So I'm a double major in business management and marketing, and I'm a minor in construction management. Out of college, I'm kind of hoping to go into sports marketing for a little bit and then into corporate real estate. My dad's in corporate real estate, and I've kind of grown up watching him do what he does, and I really enjoy it and think that I'd enjoy it as my career.
I think that real estate, that's the first time that we've heard that
really
at all on the show. So it's good to have a very unique and different answer. But how do you manage your time between academics and athletics, especially as a double major and a minor?
I think just making use of all the resources we have as athletes here. So obviously we have study hall, and I think I get a lot of my work done there, and also making use of our off days. So just getting done whatever work you can early in the week really helps because we have a really packed schedule, and especially with traveling starting up, it's going to get really hard. But I've just learned make use of study hall, make use of the time that you have when you don't have practice.
Yeah, I think that time management can be difficult, but with like if you already have a system going into it, and I think again it does help that softball is spring heavy, so you have that fall semester to start to get settled in.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like the sports that start right off the bat.
Yeah, fall semester is definitely super helpful, especially being a freshman. So I've started to figure it out, and it's been pretty easy for me so far this semester.
Well, that's great. We are going to go into a topic that we're starting to add in more. As a student athlete, not only is there a lot to consider physically, but obviously there's also a huge mental aspect. I'd like to briefly dive into that, like mental aspect and your view on mental health as a student athlete.
Mental health actually means a lot to me. When I was younger, I lost my best friend to mental health related issues. And at that point, she was at like one of her heaviest points of her career. So I kind of learned from there just to prioritize myself and make sure that I'm doing okay before I go and slam myself on the field or in the classroom. So honestly, just like also knowing that it's okay to not be okay has been a big thing for me. And just knowing that you have a support system to go to, especially like my teammates here, the athletic staff here is super helpful too. Like I know I can go to my trainer or my academic advisor if I need something, and our coaches here are amazing. I could go to my coaches with whatever issue I have and they'll listen to me and they'll help me with whatever they can. But like I have a thing, like before every game, I have a little index card notebook, and I have prompts that I write to make sure that I'm relaxed and that I'm there mentally, because I truly believe if I'm not there mentally, then I won't be able to perform my best on the field that day.
Yeah, and that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't always realize with athletes, but especially college athletes, how much of like a mental aspect there even is. Because like you're balancing, not only are you having to think about what's going on with whatever sport it may be, but you're also having to balance like academics the next day or whatever else it may be.
Yeah, and like also too, you're playing at the highest level. Division I college athletics is not easy, and especially too, like you're balancing academics on top of that. Like you could have had a hard game the day before and then you have an exam the next day, and you just have to lock in mentally and realize that you have to leave whatever happened in the past and just focus on what's going on in the present moment too.
Yeah, for sure. So far, how has being a student athlete shaped your college experience this year? Again, knowing that it is your first year, and what do you look forward to the most playing here at WCU?
I think being a student athlete, specifically at WCU, has introduced me to a community. I have so many friends on other teams at this school, like volleyball. I have my best friends on that team. And just honestly, like being able to walk to class knowing that I can say hi to someone and have a conversation with them if they're on a different sports team really makes me like feel good and know that I have a community here. But I'm looking forward to playing with my sisters on the field and getting to experience what being a Division I student athlete is really like, just because like that's been my dream for as long as I can remember. And knowing that I get to experience that now is just super exciting to me.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is something that being at that highest level, like you mentioned, that is really special for a lot of athletes. But yeah, the other thing that kind of sticks out, whoa, can't speak apparently, is just like the athletics within Western have like a family feel that I don't think you'd find at bigger schools, where not only is the team a family, but like all of athletics, where like everybody knows everybody in the different sports. And that's something I've noticed from the very beginning of doing these interviews.
Yeah, like I have a lot of friends at bigger schools too, and I talk to them about like how we're friends with everybody and how we go to different sports and watch them play, and they're always like, oh, that doesn't happen at our school. Like we're friends with our team, and maybe like if they're on the softball team, it's baseball. Like they're friends with just a few teams, but here, like I'm glad that we can say that we're friends with pretty much everybody in the athletics program, and we're able to go support them too, which is really nice.
Yeah, having that connection is really nice. We are going to move into our lightning round, so just some short little questions with some short little answers. So far, what is your favorite class at Western?
I'd probably say marketing. I've really enjoyed that class so far. I'm taking it this semester, so I've really liked that so far.
What professor do you have?
I think Deconic. Was it?
Deconic.
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
gosh,
Right.
love Deconic. Shout out Deconic so much. Do you have a pregame ritual or superstition?
I do. So before every game, I have to listen to the song "Surround Sound" by JID. It's super random, but I have to listen to that song, and then I always have to put my uniform on the same way. So that's my superstition thing. I've done it since my sophomore year of high school, so haven't stopped since.
Whatever works, works. What is your favorite sport to watch and favorite non-WCU team?
My favorite sport to watch is probably football, and my favorite non-WC team is probably the Washington Commanders. I'm a big Commanders fan, so
We have one of those in the studio. It kind of it wasn't a good day whenever they lost.
it definitely was not. It was rough.
Shout out to the Commanders, I guess. And what is your favorite post-game meal?
Definitely Chipotle or mac and cheese. Depends on the day, but it's usually one of those two.
Those I feel like are very different.
They're different for sure, but I love them both. So
There you go. And kind of to close everything out and tie everything together, what is the best advice you've received as a student athlete? And kind of going in with that, what advice would you give to an incoming student athlete?
I'd probably say the best advice that I've received is to be where your feet are. And my dad always told me that growing up, because if you're not where you are standing currently and you're focusing on all these other things, you're not going to be able to perform your best. And I think like I've held that really special to me, and I keep it going still, because if you're not you and if you're not where you are, like you're not going to perform properly. And my advice to incoming student athletes is probably to ask for help, to go to your teammates if you need help, to go to your coaches, because they're going to be your best support system and they can help you through pretty much anything you're going through. Because that's definitely something I noticed this semester is I went to them as much as I needed them, and they helped me so much with the transition.
Yeah, I think the asking for help can be difficult as a student athlete for a lot of like, especially at bigger schools, but like just you're expected to always be at this certain level, but with our school and the support, you have more of that support. And so,
Yeah. I think like just knowing that the older people too know what they're doing and that they can teach you how to do it too is just something really comforting to know.
yeah, for sure. But that is going to close out our interview. So thank you, Ava, for coming on the show today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. We'll see you next time, and go Cats.